Honestly, I'm kind of embarrassed. I know I've talked about this on this channel before, but I don't think I've ever dedicated an entire video to it. I looked through my channel, I searched all the different keywords, and nothing came up that screamed, I did a video on this already, so maybe I already did, but I can't find it. But regardless of that being an issue with making daily content, or attempting to make daily content, sorry I missed the last couple of days guys, but partly it's the issue with that, and also, even if I did make a video on this already or talk about it in depth, I need to reiterate it, because the biggest thing I see in my comment section is that nothing needs to be nerfed in Modern Warfare, and in fact, everything needs to be buffed, so that if everything is overpowered, nothing is going to be underpowered anymore. That way, balance is perfect. One thing I know I definitely said in previous videos is that people always use Modern Warfare 2 as an example. That's right, that 10 hertz listen servers game that ran on God knows how old of an engine, and also featured a perk called Stopping Power, which universally increased the damage of all of your bullets. So don't tell me that Modern Warfare 2 had good weapon balance. Modern Warfare 2 is similar to Modern Warfare 2019 in the sense that all the weapons are perfectly usable. It's just that some weapons are being overused for a damn good reason, and that is ease of use or versatility. When I say the MP5 needs a nerf, I don't mean that no one can ever beat an MP5 user. I'm saying the MP5 will beat you more times than not when in the hands of a competent player or an equally skilled player, which you should be going up against if skill-based matchmaking works the way we think it does. Look, if you are unironically saying buff every other SMG, don't nerf the MP5, I'm sorry, that's an idiotic stance, and also you just don't understand what's wrong with the MP5. In order for every weapon to be at the level of the MP5, they would have to have the following: above 30 rounds of ammunition, low recoil, clean iron sights, a rate of fire above 800, and the ability to 3-shot kill without a headshot. On top of that, little things like high mobility, a good reload speed, and an integrally suppressed barrel, which increases your range, your bullet velocity, and of course removes muzzle flash while also keeping you off of the radar and hiding your vapor trails. Yeah, kind of a stacked fucking weapon. On stream a bit ago, I went and got the MP5 Gold, and that thing, even without attachments, is crazy, but if you just put on a 45 round magazine and that monolithic suppressor, you are using a very good gun. Every other attachment is strictly a bonus. Now I ask you, how would you make the Uzi combat that? Because when you have a higher rate of fire, your margin for error is longer. I keep saying this in countless videos, and I'm sure you guys are sick of hearing it, so please, don't hammer me in the comments section. I have to get this off my chest, because the amount of this in my comment section is, well, it's comparable to how many hardcore players think that the skill gap doesn't change once you make everything a 1 to 2 shot kill. They think it increases. Nobody tell them. It's funny to watch. But I ask you, how fast would every gun need to fire? So above 800 RPM in order to be competitive with this weapon? They all would have to have the same recoil pattern. They all would have to do the same damage, right? When a gun is this versatile, the only way every gun comes up to it is if they have identical stats. You might have an SMG that shoots slower but does more damage and does better at longer ranges, but that's the problem. The MP5 really doesn't have any trouble at longer ranges. I mean, really, even on 10v10 maps like Grozny Raid, it still is very competent at mid-range. And even if it didn't do great damage at long range, that recoil pattern and that rate of fire means they can put a lot of accurate shots on you very quickly. This is what's crazy. In Call of Duty, the most overused weapons are normally not the most damaging weapons, but the weapons that are the easiest to use. The ones that have low recoil and a solid rate of fire. They don't need to 3-shot kill, but here comes the MP5, 3-shotting all day. Now, I don't want the MP5 to be useless, right? I have no desire for that. Even though it breaks that rule of Call of Duty where it's like, oh yeah, it's overused because it's easy, but it's also easy and high damaging, which is just mind-blowing. It's like the ASM-1 problem from Advanced Warfare. But I don't want it to be useless, so like I've said before, I just want more horizontal recoil so it's harder to control at range, and I would like it if the 9mm rounds couldn't 3-shot kill without 2 headshots. And if you want that faster time to kill, you have to use the 10mm magazine, and I think that magazine should reload slower. But even then, I think its 3 and 4 shot kill ranges should be right up close, and then it should be a 5-shot kill afterwards, because it has that rate of fire and that low recoil combined. I don't understand how they thought they were gonna balance weapons. And I know it's difficult for them because they have weapons in here like the AUG, like the MP7, and you really can't have the MP5 fall so far behind those weapons that it's not even worth using anymore. And I've already kind of started to accept that not every weapon in Modern Warfare is going to be drastically distinct, but yeah, I would love to hear your ideas, because I never hear any buffing ideas. All I hear is, you have to buff the other guns, you can't nerf anything because that makes the game less fun. As if dying to one gun over and over and over and over again because of its insane versatility is going to somehow be more fun. And if every other weapon gets a buff other than the MP5 will still be heavily used because of how good it is and how many people have the muscle memory for it. They just know how to use it. Hell, the M4 got nerfed. Now it's just a versatile, solid assault rifle. It's definitely easy to use, it's definitely powerful, but it's not overpowered anymore. And yet, that's what people use. Same with the 725. The 725 is not blatantly overpowered, and I think there's better shotguns out there, but hey, people know how to use the gun they want to use. So even after a gun gets nerfed, you can't expect people to just run away from it. But that's what's funny about this. Buffing other guns really won't make people run away from the weapon they're consistently winning all of their gunfights with. And to wrap this video up with a neat little bow, I thought I'd bring up hierarchies just here at the end. So listen, even if every gun got its recoil cut in half, and given default stopping power rounds and instantaneous reloads, there would still be some weapons that rise to the top. You have got to understand that nothing is going to be perfectly balanced. I understand that. I am totally aware. That's why I'm targeting specific weapons in my videos that I find annoying when I'm playing my game. So when I'm playing Modern Warfare, if a gun keeps annoying me consistently, that's when you hear me talk about it. If I happen to have stats to back it up, well, that's just dandy. But even in a game where every weapon is incredibly viable, which Modern Warfare, in my opinion, is damn near, weapons will float to the top. Something will always be gravitated towards. Players will ultimately always try to optimize their fun in the game. And fun in Call of Duty usually involves winning. So yeah, people will always find what the best weapon is and they will abuse the hell out of it. I think the AK-47 is a highly competitive weapon in Modern Warfare, but it's harder to use and it has less margin for error, so you see a lot less of it, and you will definitely never see a pub stomper or a pro player using it consistently against other sweaty players. Because it has recoil, and you can't just sweep targets with it because of its rate of fire, and yeah, you can get 2-shot kills to the head, but that requires you to aim at the head. Might as well get a 3-shot to the body with a gun that shoots much, much faster and doesn't kick at all. See what I mean? Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video for whatever reason. Thank you so much for entering this video and leaving your coat by the door. I'm gonna have to ask you to leave now, and don't let the door hit subscribe on the way out unless you want it to. That got away from me. See you when I see you guys. Goodbye.